welcome back to Popcorn and Beers. We've got your butter on top, Predator, Badlands, and of course your drunk classic, Skeleton Twins. Let's go. Welcome back to Popcorn and Beers, where some use tomatoes and others use thumbs. We use the stuff that gets you drunk, and that's right. It is your kittens, cats, moms, uncles, aunties' favorite movie podcast. I thought that was like cheese. Like, I thought those were cheese balls that you were like...
Drinking
liquid
a cup of
Cheetos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was very thrown off. I was taken aback by that. Just like I was taken aback by my reaction to Predator versus your reaction to Predator, which is our butter on top. And I don't know if it was because we were texting right as the movie was about to start for me, and my expectations were extremely lowered. So let me just open up, if that's okay with you, Jordan.
Okay.
I'm going to open up. Obviously, our butter on top was Predator, Badlands, and if you don't know, you should know by now, our rating system is 1 popcorn for a bad movie, a popcorn and 1 for watchable, a popcorn and 2 for near top tier, and a popcorn and 3 for you absolutely have to see this movie. It is an instant classic. I was in the theater on Friday night to see Predator, Badlands, and let's start with this. The Predators looked a little silly in this one, and I've read a lot of explanations since on Twitter and everything that they're like, hey, we needed to show them as adolescents. We wanted to show that they're not fully formed predators yet, that they're growing up, and we're going to expand the series. We're going to expand this IP by playing into that, and they played into a lot of IP. We've got some Alien. We've got some Predator. We've got some Prometheus. Like, there is some stuff going on here that they want to play with, okay? But I opened up my review with, no one gives a damn about the runts. We want to see the tough predators go battle it out.
Yeah.
And then I said, we weren't looking for Rudy, a Predator story.
Exactly. Thank you.
Because I wasn't bought in at first. And it grew on me as the film continued. It's pretty obvious foreshadowing that there's going to be multiple movies here. It's pretty obvious foreshadowing about what this Predator is going to do to overcome whatever obstacles lie in its path. So I'm not going to tell you what they are, but I'm not spoiling anything. Trust me, like right away, it's like, oh, that's probably going to be useful later. Oh, that's probably going to be useful later. Oh, that's probably like, they're like, hey, our audience is idiots. Look. They're going to use that. If you're not paying attention to this. Look.
Yeah.
In fact, they're not looking at you touching it. AI robot, call it out. Say what it is. Say what it does. So they know we're going to use it later in the movie. There was a lot of that going on. Like, okay, like, stop patronizing us. We're not idiots. It's okay. Like, we can put 2 and 2 together. Or how about this? Don't be so heavy-handed with your foreshadowing. Go ahead, Josh.
I was like, what's that over there? Oh, that's the in the sequel gun.
Plot device.
Yeah. In my head, I was like, you don't have to be so heavy-handed, and perhaps maybe leave it open for a surprise. So we can be like, oh, dang, I would have never thought to use it like that. Nope, there isn't a lot of that. However, there's a lot of, like, what happens when you're colonizing a planet. And do we take advantage of the resource? There's going to be a lot of this commentary. And like I said, it's going to get old. I don't feel like this was super heavy-handed with that aspect, but you knew what was going on. Like, you're cognizant, okay, they're really trying to highlight, like, that colonizing areas isn't good, and that we take away from these areas' beauties by overstepping what we should do, which is just look at it and recognize how beautiful it is. Also, this planet is super terrifying.
Yeah,
super
save
terrifying.
the beautiful, as even the Predators refer to it as Murder Planet.
Yeah, Murder Planet. I
That's
also,
a video game right there.
They also hit us with the old bait and switch, by the way. Because the trailers, everything leading up to it was, we're finally going to get to see the Predator's planet. We're finally going to get to see what happens on the Predator's planet. We're going to be on Predator World, and we're going to see how the clans interact with one another. We're going to... No. Immediately, you get none of that. So if you're expecting that this is not the movie for you, okay? They did the old bait and switch. They got us to the theater with wait till you learn about these predators, and then you don't learn a ton about the predators. But like I said, the movie did start to grow on me. Fanning, in her role, was good. Like, she played that role near perfect, even though it's kind of an annoying role to be in. I don't know of a better way that role could have been played. I thought that the little creature, it was very Disney. They Disneyed it up pretty hardcore. Like, you get a lot of Predator Disney, and you get the transformation of a hunter-killer into a hero. Okay, so now we've got a hero Predator, and we're gonna have to work through that and understand what this is gonna be like. Lots of people are liking this. Lots of people are liking this film. It did grow on me. I'm not gonna go above a popcorn and one. It's definitely a popcorn and one for me, but it's not unenjoyable. That's what I'll say. Like, I sank into it a little bit. I tried to get into what they were trying to do in this movie, and I started to like it a little bit. It wasn't a bad movie. I want to be clear. The CGI is really good. The graphics are really good. The Earth that they're on is very good. So popcorn and one for me, definitely worth a watch, especially if you're a fan of this franchise, especially if you're trying to piece together everything. Also, can someone just come out with literature so I understand like everything? Because Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger takes place way before anything happens with the alien world, and I want to know how we bridge this gap and how the Predators haven't evolved to having like cities yet, because it's been a lot of years since Predator and Arnold and Predator versus Alien and Aliens and Predator and the Wayland companies existing in the same universe. So someone bridge this gap for me. I don't care who you are.
That.
Just tell me what's going on. What'd you say, Josh?
I reject that. Why is Predator such a good movie? Because we don't know shit about the Predator. Leave things mysterious. That's one of the best the best parts of horror. That's one of the best parts of a good villain. Mystery. Leaving the lore unexplored is good. When you make plucky heroes with Disney characters on Murder Planet, is this a cartoon? What's happening?
Well, what's crazy?
This is Josh with attitude now because I have glasses.
And Josh is angry, but also Jordan, Predator, the Predator's animation, you were with me, was phenomenal.
It was good. Yeah, the effects and all that, the world, the creatures, all of that was awesome. This was a bright spot of the movie. Predator, bad. Emphasis on Badlands. It wasn't bad. No, it wasn't bad. It was terrible. Okay? Predator, terrible lands. Generic sci-fi slop plot, and throw in like a sprinkle of Predator, like classic Predator traits. Like, you know, stop me if you haven't heard this. Defective underdog, reluctant partners, motivated by grief, and the plucky nonverbal creature. Okay, like the Disney. This is clearly Disney IP now, and you know, I would just love to see them try to merchandise T-shirts that say Predator across the top. If you worn at Disney parks.
Your friendly neighborhood Predator.
Yeah. Oh God, you get not one but two comic reliefs, right? In one plucky nonverbal creature, as aforementioned, and you get two Elle Fannings, not one but two Elle Fannings, which isn't. She does fine, but you couldn't get a different actor to play the bad just because her as the comic relief partner is just so. It's so hard to go back and forth between bad version of her and goofy version of her, you know?
Did they explain why she's human looking?
Well, yeah, she's a synth.
Yeah.
I don't think that's giving anything away. Yeah, it's alien.
She's a synth from the Alien series? Okay.
Yeah. I like Elle Fanning, right? She's on this journey with him, and she's Diary of the Mouth character, the annoying character.
Yeah.
And she's like, I know so much about the Yautja. And you're like, yes, here we go. We're going to hear a little bit, to, I guess, Josh's annoyance. We're like, yes, we're going to hear a little bit about these characters in their world. And then no, just kind of deads it right there. Predator's just like, shut up, and tosses her up a cliff or some crap. And then she just shuts up about it.
There's a lot of throwing her.
Yeah. The fighting is cool. Like, a lot of the fight scenes are pretty dang cool. Good, just mindless action. But this is a franchise that, like, I am really, really fond of. Like, I'm kind of precious about the Predator franchise.
Predator's cool.
Yeah, and I didn't like where this was going from the very start. Like, the opening sequence, I leaned over and I was like, this is terrible. And it just didn't get any better. I was kind of
stranger next to you.
Jedi style fight scene.
Yeah, I was like looking around the theater as the movie was going to see if anybody else was like feeling the same way I was. I was like, I don't know, can you do that? Is that allowed?
That opening scene was very Star Warsy as opposed to Predatory.
Yeah, it didn't work for me at all. We wanted more of the Predator dad, right?
Yeah.
That was the Predator we wanted to see. That's the character you want throughout this movie.
Yeah, we want the dad Predator.
It's not enough. To quote Kendrick Lamar, not enough. It's not enough. This was a popcorn movie.
Talking about nothing.
Yeah.
Josh, are you going to be able to get to the theater to see this, or are you going to wait for it to come out on Disney Plus?
I'm going to wait till it's on streaming to watch Jumanji 4. Yeah, there's other things that are more important to me. I'm protesting the lack of practical effect masks. They could have done better.
Yeah, but the CGI was really good. The CGI on the faces and stuff,
that's great. But Predator in 1970 something looked better. So you can say it looked great, but it didn't look as good.
They have released like commentary on this. Like they said, the other Predators, the more senior Predators, look like the Predators, from the 80s. And
no, I understand that. I'm saying like the CG might have looked good, but it didn't look like real skin. It looked like CG skin. So in this day and age, you got to do something about that, guys. It looked like CG. It's too far gone for the CG to look like CG. It needs to look real.
I mean, I'm sure they had people in suits. I'm sure there were, because they couldn't CG the Predator the entire time. There's no way. It's the whole movie is the Predator, and he's not cloaked through the whole movie. Yeah. So there was definitely practical effects. Go ahead, Jordan.
Oh, and then it's just like I couldn't get the commentary from social media about when they dropped pictures of this new Predator and just how much he looks like a Starbucks barista. It's like, yeah, he does.
I never thought about that. I'm gonna buy in. I'm gonna give them a chance to find their legs because they're clearly trying to create a new storyline. They're trying to branch this out to see what they can get out of it. But it was nothing like Prey. Did you like Prey, Josh?
No, I never saw Prey. I'm way behind in the Predator series, guys. I'm sorry.
Go watch Prey.
I would be down with just the expansion of this animated Predator universe.
That I also need to watch.
Dope. That was really good, and I want more of that, please.
Well, we got more of the planet on the animated one than we did in this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So pros and cons, pros and cons. There were pros and cons about our drunk classic as well, as Jordan and I differ, but not too much. I gave it a popcorn and 1 for Predator Badlands. Jordan came in with a very low popcorn. So we'll split it there, and that's okay. We had Skeleton Twins here, which is a dramatic comedy, I guess I would pose this film as. Melancholy comedy. Josh, why were you in the mood to watch Skeleton Twins? Because you got to kind of be in the mood for a Skeleton Twins movie.
Yeah, you gotta be in the mood. First of all, I apologize for these pretentious glasses and my demeanor this morning. I had a very expensive mistake, and I'm grumpy. And these are my headphones. Okay, so shut up. Skeleton Twins. Well, like I said last week, the timing is right. It took place kind of on Halloween. It's not a Halloween movie, but we're in the time frame. It's autumnal. It's we're getting into the season of the heartfelt movie, the sad movie, the thoughtful movie, blah blah blah. And I'm a sucker for indie movies in general, and this is just right up all those alleys. Drink Link, we got Bill Hader
Quite
and
a
Kristen
few.
Stewart starring together, not starring, but they're together in a movie that what was Adventureland. They were in that one.
Yeah.
Another drunk
Yeah.
classic of ours. There was another Drink Link I forgot. Oh yeah, guy from Modern Family, Phil Dunphy's in this,
Yeah.
just like Dawn of the Dead, playing an
Yep.
asshole again. That's a double Drink Link. That's a twofer.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, did
Anyway,
you read my script?
man, this is a good movie. I haven't seen it since I first saw it, which is way back when it came out. Way back. I don't know. What is this, 2014, 2016? Um, it's good, man. It's different than I remember because it's been so long since I've seen it. Uh, it had real heavy themes, real strong, unaliving themes. So trigger warning there for everybody. Um, as well as other things like predator stuff, etc. Not Yautja stuff, but predator stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but
Marital
boy,
conflicts.
yeah, but it's a great. It reminded me, honestly, Fry. Maybe you can attest to this. Reminded me of Black Rabbit in the sense of dysfunctional brothers or siblings, rather, but a different dynamic, of course, because it's gay brother and sister versus two very hetero, dysfunctional male brothers. Anyway, another sibling movie where the siblings are
Yeah.
fucked up. So it's a different kind of love story. It's platonic love, of course. It's familial love, but just as
I
valid
thought you
as
were
any
gonna
other
say chlamydia love.
Ah.
familial love. That's the name of my new single. Um,
Chlamydia.
I really enjoyed this movie. I enjoy how real it got. I enjoyed all the little funny parts that really kept you going. You can tell that Kristen Stewart and Bill Hader, they just naturally can make themselves laugh on a dime. Like
Yeah.
all the scenes where they're just goofing together, like that's probably not scripted in the least bit. They're just
Mhm.
doing what they would normally be doing if they were in a room together.
If they were stoned together.
I give this movie a popcorn and one. It's just I think it's just beautiful. It's calm. It's quiet. My mom walked in the room when Bill Hader talked about eating pussy, so she walked right back out. And it's got heavy themes, but it's very enjoyable. I think it keeps me going, even though you might think it drags a bit. I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was good pacing.
It's funny that
Popcorn
you
and one beer.
said you said my mom walked in right when he's talking about eating pussy. She walked right back out. I don't know. It's got heavy themes, and it just kind of sounds like you're talking about the eating of pussy as a heavy theme.
Well, it depends.
Jordan, had you ever seen this? Because I had seen this.
No, I did not. And it's hard to really say what it was. Getting into this movie, it was like, what is this really about the whole time?
Yeah.
It's just, I guess, it's just about family and sadness, depression, mental health, all of that kind of stuff. And then you're like, wait a minute, Phil Dunphy, he's a pedophile, and
Yeah.
that's okay. Like throughout the movie, and then that's what it kind of felt like for a while, and then Kristen Wiig
It's
points
okay
it out
until
like,
it's
hey, yeah, yeah, exactly. How does Bill Hader exactly? Like, what's his technique in pulling off gay? Like, what is it that he subtly changes? And I think it's just this.
But he did it though. Didn't he like pull it off?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
yeah,
It was-
yeah, yeah. That
I
one.
felt like
that
he
movie.
did gay. He did
in
gay.
but like I feel like as a cis male, I'm not allowed to apply my own sensibilities to what I believe he should have done to play gay. So I'm
Okay,
gonna sit this
yes,
one out.
but if I was going to do gay, it would be obvious that I'm a straight man doing gay. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I don't see that for him. I saw him as I think he did gay.
Yeah.
But back to the Phil Dunphy thing and all that. I didn't. Wasn't it nice, like the slow release of why this happened, why that happened? Like they didn't just say outright this. They didn't say outright that. It's just like kind of like as the movie progressed, they drop. Oh, that's why they haven't talked in 10 years. Oh, he's a piece of shit because of this. You know what I mean? Like it was
I
cool.
thought it was more of a master class in what grooming looks like and how grooming can impact you long past the moment of actual
Yeah.
completion, I guess.
Yeah.
So I had to watch this in 2 sittings. It was kind of
Mm.
really wearing on my, I don't know, my patience. Like I just was like, but like I didn't hate it. It was like that was fine. It's just the type of movie like, yeah, you have to be in like a certain type of vibe or whatever. And my life is just in a fast pace right now, and so I was just like, ooh, it was kind of
Yeah.
hard on me. So I mean,
It was hard
I
on
give it
Hater
a
too.
yeah, I give it a popcorn. I'm gonna give it a popcorn. Sorry, yeah, I give it a popcorn. It's a popcorn movie. Yeah,
How did he know she was swimming?
yeah,
It's
right.
just like how?
With
There was
twins,
so many other.
How does he know? How does he know where the pool is?
yeah.
Yeah, like there was so. I was like, there's a lot here.
Are they actually
I
twin
didn't-
siblings?
Yeah, they're twins.
That's the idea. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't think that Kristen Wiig was a terrible person. I felt like she was somebody that got herself trapped in the life she thought she wanted and realized this is not the life she wants and was too scared to get out of it by standing up and saying, hey, I don't want to be here. Like, I think that's
At the expense of somebody else, though. Like that makes you
Yeah.
kind of a terrible person.
I really appreciate what Luke Owen, is that his name? Luke
Yeah.
Wilson.
Luke Wilson.
I appreciate how he just got up, walked away, and there was no resolution there. Like, good for him, and good for the plot.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
we're not going to tie this up. We're going to have this. This is a plane crash, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she,
Oh,
she
cool.
didn't like him to begin with. And Hader's character tried to push that narrative. Like, hey, just break up. Like, it's easier for both of you. It's nicer to him. And I think that Luke Wilson's character, Vince or whatever, I think his name was Vince. Like, or was it Vince or Luke? It was generic white guy.
Oh, Vince, I think.
Was it Vince?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
But he kind of grew on Bill Hader's character. Did you guys notice that?
Mm-hmm.
Like he started to
Yeah.
like him a little bit, even though it's like in a real world they would never be friends.
Oh, the genuinity is undeniable, and you know, so
Well,
Yeah.
you do know what kind of movie this is going to be right away, as it opens with loud music and hitting that vodka bottle hard, straight from the lip, and then the bathtub, and literally my reaction was, "Oh, I forgot about this." Like as you start to see what happens in the bathtub.
yeah, I forgot it was such a heavy movie. I really did.
So I do. There's a lot of chemistry one-liners in this that are worth listening to and worth watching. Like Josh said, between Bill Hader and Kirsten Wiig. I did just an observation here, not part of my review. It was funny that he's dressed up like a flapper girl, but all I could think was that he looked like the Mars Attacks alien. As he
Yeah.
was walking around. I think that there's heavy-handed themes at work here, and like Jordan and myself said, you kind of got to be in a place to really watch this movie and appreciate it for what it is.
Which wouldn't you say is usually the case for a lot of indie films like this? You know, Garden State or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you got to be in a mood.
Well, I mean, like indie films, there's a reason they're independent because people don't go to the theaters in drones to be sad.
Right.
You know, like
Right.
it's just the truth. And not that all of these films end that way, but like a lot of them take a lot of you being sad to get to like, we're happy now. Like it takes a lot to get there.
Well, yeah, it's just like any really deep, complex musical album. like this is not a Flow Rida album. You know what I mean? This
Yeah.
is the Shins or whatever. It's not for
They
everybody.
they do a great job though of showing family dynamic. Like we
Yeah.
talked about it a little bit this week on Gorp. But there is some family dynamics at play here that I think are pretty accurate. Like there are times
Oof.
where I
The
just
mom
can't.
thing.
Yeah, the mom thing was hard to watch.
Dude, I love that when she's like, you just gotta come over, stop by. She's like, okay, we'll come over tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. How about next week? No, not next week. I love that. That was like calling him out on the spot was really good.
Yeah. Well, also the wedding. She calls her out about the wedding too, like right at the dinner table. Would that be happening on another date that's impactful to my life? Probably the biggest one. Like there is a lot of awkward moments that you have to sink into, but there's humor there too. There's quite a bit of humor. I'm glad that we watched it. I don't think I'll watch it again for a while. I mean, they may say we're crazy, but what do they know? I'm gonna go ahead and give this a popcorn and one.
Probably one.
All right,
All right.
so let's get into it. I'm gonna lead us off. I reviewed The Witcher with Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson.
That would be funny.
What a different Witcher that would be.
Yeah.
What I have is a certain set of eyes.
Give me back my family.
Yeah. What is it? My surprise child. I think that's what the child surprise. You've taken my child surprise. So with Liam Hemsworth, and they had a little epilogue film that really, and it tells you, watch this after you finished The Witcher. Like it literally says that on it. Watch it after you finish the final episode. And that is because if you don't, you will have the final episode spoiled for you because it picks up exactly where the final episode left off. So if you didn't watch it, you're going to be like, what the hell? That happened?
Of the final episode of where what's his face left off? Cavill?
No.
No.
The entire series.
Season 4, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, you cannot watch The Rats. I want to say A Rat's Tale. You cannot watch The Rats, A Witcher's Tale, if you have not finished the final episode of The Witcher Season 4. It will spoil it for you. Very, like, right away, too. It's immediate. Like, immediately, it will spoil it for you. It just opens with a spoiler. So I want to let everybody know now. Don't just watch this movie without watching the show.
Liam Hemsworth swinging a sword with a ratatouille on his head.
So, The Rats is the story of Cirilla and her crew. That's what this story is. And it talks about how the rats end up finding Cirilla and how the rats came together as a crew. And it's kind of cool because we get a little Dolph Lundgren action. And if you know anything about me, you know I love a little Dolph Lundgren action. Takes me right back to Ivan Drago days, okay? So we get Dolph Lundgren in this. We get him being the clumsy drunkard Witcher, and he needs to be redeemed. There are so many 80s montages in this film. So many 80s montages in this film. I want to say like 5, maybe more of like, nah, we figured this out. Let's train. Okay, cool. We've trained this. Now we got to go train on this. And like, there's a lot of that going on throughout this. Like, they're like, we are gonna build a whole movie, out of montages. We're gonna go full 80s. It does continue the storyline. It fills in a few gaps that you might have had from watching The Witcher Season 4. It is entertaining, but it's very childish. It makes sense because it follows a crew of what would be teenagers or young adults. So it is a little bit childish. It gets the petty squabbles are a bit much in this universe. I'm not a huge fan of them. I think they're stupid and they're unnecessary. They're not great for moving the plot forward, which is what I think they want to say it is. But the graphics are good. The monster is really good. The reveal is really good. You get Dolph Lundgren. We're going to give it a pop 1. It's clear that they were filming this at the exact same time as they were filming The Witcher Season 4. I believe I gave The Witcher Season 4 a pop 1 as well. So it's right in line. It follows a certain theme, but you cannot deny, like, if you're like Josh and you love a good Ren Fair, then you're gonna kind of enjoy the costume, set design, the world building that's existing here. Like it's the knights, the monsters, the ships, the medieval fairs. Like it's kind of cool. So popcorn and 1 for The Rats, A Witcher's Tale. I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it just fine.
I watched Netflix's new crown jewel. It's award Oscar bait, okay?
So I guess we're diving into this together.
Yes. Yes. The Guillermo Del Toro Frankenstein. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Starring Oscar Isaac, who does a phenomenal job. Okay. He has
Always.
a outstanding performance with those sideburns, though.
The mutton
He's
chops?
not Victor Frankenstein. Yeah, he is Mr. Burns, right?
We
'Cause them
bringing sideburns back?
Yeah.
All right.
The always talented but off-putting Mia Goth is just that. Very talented, but off-putting. Just very peculiar actress. She's very mysterious. And then the surprise of this, the X factor that really could have made this, not only because he is the title character, or more or less the monster, Jacob Elordi. This movie hinged on him.
Unrecognizable.
Oh, I thought Oscar Isaac was the monster. Okay, he's Frankenstein.
Yeah. Jacob Elordi is,
you don't pay the high bill actor to be a monster. Not at all.
Yeah.
You pay the high bill actor to act.
Well, Frankenstein is what people know as Frankenstein is like that's what I would want to be. The monster. I would want to be the monster.
I don't know if you're gonna like this movie, John.
So Jacob Elordi, if you don't know, is from teen dramas and movies, right? He's from Euphoria, right?
He's from Euphoria. He's from Saltburn.
Yeah, and he is in the Kissing Booth franchise, right?
Big tall guy. He's like 6'6" or something like that.
Yeah, so I didn't watch Saltburn, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people, most people did not, especially after hearing, what it's about and all of that. But he kills it. He does a good job. He does a really, really good job. Like, I'm like, how is this guy, man, not in more movies? Not in more
like
stuff in dramatic roles.
Do a lot?
Is he British? Is he English?
I think he's Australian.
Okay, well,
he
the
might be
accent
British.
is fantastic.
Do you feel like he was asked to do a lot other than walk around and be a big guy in makeup? He had one line for an hour and a half. It wasn't a line, sorry, he had one word.
But later in the movie, when he gets beyond that, his inflections, his dramatic, his timing, everything was really, really good, I thought. I can't, maybe it wasn't a lot, but what he did perfect with the little that he had, I think.
Yeah,
his
it could also be. It could be that just Guillermo is the man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. Apparently, this is the closest adaptation to the Mary Shelley novel. Mary Shelley novel. Of any Frankenstein movie or anything that's been created previously, focusing less on the monster, just being like a horror movie. This being like a monster movie, and more of it being like...
Okay, I was going to say focusing less on the monster that is the presumed monster and focusing more on the actual monster.
Right. And this being less of a direct horror film and just more of like a gothic kind of sci-fi.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, oh man. It's
lush.
Beautiful. Sci-fi, dude. Yeah.
It is.
The movie is gorgeous.
Yeah, it is lush. The colors are contrasting. The sets. There's a couple scenes where a set looks a little flat. It's very, very noticeable. Like a lot of the scenes on the ship itself, on the deck of the ship and all that, you're like, that looks totally like just a backdrop. Like But everything else, I'm like, I got to nitpick, I guess, a little bit, but like everything else is gorgeous. It's the sets and the score, everything. Guillermo, like, absolutely, this is going to win awards. This is going to win an award of some sort. The mutilation scenes are rough.
It's tough for the categories that this could win it are going to be tough this year. I think, like set design, score, sound mixing. I think those are really tough categories this year.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I think it's got my vote right now. Not that I actually get one. The mutilation. Okay, a lot of body horror kind of mutilation stuff going on. It goes a little bit far at times, but it's still when a lot of the time when it's being done, it's just very still vibrant to look at, right? Just the contrast of like blood and this stuff going on with just all the color palettes and lighting and things going on, it just pops. Very, very good. So I would give Frankenstein a popcorn and 2. Yeah, it was serviceable. I didn't hate it. I wasn't bored. I wanted to see what's next. The story flowed well enough. It left a little bit to be desired in some aspect. So I mean, popcorn and 2.
Pop and 2.
I wanted more taste. I wanted to taste more of what was going on. I wanted some flavor mixed in. This is a very bland English breakfast. Like it's a beautiful film. Okay, and Jordan, just so you know, Jacob Elordi is right now 6th in Gold Derby's predictions for Best Supporting Actor. So you're spot on there. Oscar Isaac is
say that good.
Oscar Isaac is 19th for Best Actor. All right, your categories where this stands a chance is Best Cinematography, which your number 1 and number 2 films there that are neck and neck are Sinners and One Battle After Another. And then you have Best Costume Design, which I could see it winning, but it's up against Wicked. It's in a dead heat against Wicked for Good for Best Costume Design. And then after that, you've got Best Makeup and Hairstyling, which, you guessed it, it's in a dead heat with Wicked for Good again, right? And it's hard to see. Production Design, it should win, but it's up against Wicked for Good again, which is bright, vibrant, beautiful, glorious colors. And those are really the categories that it's got its best shot in. I don't think it's going to be a winner for best score, like I said, because Sinners was fantastic in the score. Yeah. Sinners was fantastic in original songs. Sinners was fantastic with best sound. So I think Sinners is going to have a huge run here. And the reason I'm fearful in the categories that it's got a good shot in is because Hollywood loves a damn musical, man. Hollywood's been waiting for Wicked for 30 years to be in the theaters, and now they have it. And Hollywood loves this stuff, man. Ariana Grande is winning this year. There's no way she loses last year and doesn't win this year. She's absolutely winning Best Supporting Actress this year. I'll be shocked if they don't give it to her, especially with the range she's been able to show here. For me, this is a story told in three different parts, okay? This story is told through the prologue, right? We got our little prologue, and it is the monster versus the Danish Navy. That's what we get right away. The monster versus the Danish Navy, all right? Then we get chapter 1, Victor versus his expectations. And his expectations end up crippling Victor, which we've heard this before, but Oscar Isaac, he does pretty good. I don't think it was world beating, but it was Oscar Isaac, and Oscar Isaac is phenomenal. I don't know what I can do to say like, that was outside of an Oscar Isaac expected performance, you know? We get a vain, pouty, narcissistic, needy with your Frankenstein, and I'm not sure, like, why don't you appreciate that I gave you life, bitch? Because he just came to life. Like, just now. That's why I don't appreciate you. He's trying. He's trying to learn words and stuff. He ain't been hooked on phonics yet.
I don't even know words.
Yeah.
So give him a second. And then we get the creature's tale, which is, again, a tale of instead of nurturing and cultivating relationships that we discover, we choose to kill them and see them as dangerous. There one scene that I would say was a little bit silly was though you are filled with fear. The Den of Wolves scene was I was like, come on, there's very clearly something else afoot here, guys. We can very clearly see that something else has happened, and I felt like that pushed a little bit. But the only complaint I would have on the CGI would be the wolves. I felt like the wolves were not great as far as their CGI was concerned. But yeah, Jacob Elordi that was practical effects, right, Jordan?
Yeah, yeah. It was good. They did a good job with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you on the wolves. The wolves was hard to watch because, I mean, again, being wolves and all that, they're still dogs, and it was hard to see dogs getting beat up like that. Like I was like, oh man. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I agree.
It made me
I do think that the discoloration with Frankenstein was interesting here because obviously you have to keep in mind, like, it wasn't rotting flesh. He was using fresh flesh from the battlefield that he kept frozen. So I felt like the color scheme there was good, but it did kind of end up looking like Nebula.
Yeah, it did, huh? Yeah, definitely.
So there was that. Mia Goth, I liked her, man. I liked her a lot in this. Like, I was like, that was range. For me, that was range. And then we get a little Christoph Waltz action. Little Christoph Waltz. So the sound mixing here was phenomenal, and if you have the subtitles on, you says waltz music plays, right? And the waltz music is playing as there is a very nice waltz going on with the storyline as we see Victor waltz in between what he wants and desires and what he's doing and his family. And I was like, ooh, Guillermo, get it. All right. I see what you're doing here. You're putting this specific style of music on because you're symbolizing what's actually going on to the audience very subtly. I appreciate that, and I'm glad I had the subtitles on to see that because I was like, okay, cool. For me, it was a popcorn in one because I craved a little bit more, like I said, taste, substance, flavor, not just like it was very brick and mortar. It was brick by brick we built a movie. It wasn't a lot outside of that. Not that it wasn't good, not that it wasn't pretty, not that the sound wasn't fantastic, not that there wasn't heavy symbolism here, necessary symbolism, but I felt like there was more meat on the bone that we didn't get. And I'm sure the director's cut is probably like 4 hours long.
Yeah. I watched HBO's new show, Task. Okay? Task, which was billed originally as a short series, a limited series. And I guess from what I understand now, and it made me hesitate getting into this, is that it's going to be a continuing series, that they're going to bring it back. I don't know in what format, if it's anthology or not, but I'd imagine so because it was wrapped up very well. It would be interesting to see this take on like a True Detective type anthology thing, like they bring in and they have a new task force, and they kind of like, I could see that being okay, but because this storyline is wrapped up. This was a good show. Okay,
No doubt about it.
I was excited about watching this. Nobody I know had seen this. Like nobody had recommended. Like, oh yeah, you got to watch that. It's really good. But it was just something like it caught me. Like I was like, HBO is cooking with something here. Okay, you get Mark Ruffalo, who we know as the Hulk, and and a bunch of other stuff. I mean, he's fantastic. Everybody loves. He's America's dad. I think Mark Ruffalo is definitely America's dad. And you get Tom Pelphrey from Ozark. If you watched Ozark, he is the brother, the brother with mental emotional issues. And he is good, man. He can act his butt off, right? I want to see him in a lot more stuff. It's a crime drama, okay? It's a little formulaic as far as, as we talked about in pre-production. It does have formulaic elements, the bikers and, it's, definitely, right? This is a storyline that you've seen something very similar to before, but it's the actors. It's the actors and their take on it and the characters and all that really, stand out. Okay. Episode 1 is some good TV. Episode 1 really pulls you into there. You're so much happens in episode 1. It feels like it's longer than it is, for sure, but you're never bored. Okay. Bad decisions are made. Characters are quickly developed. Okay. You are in it right away, and it's only 8 episodes long, and you're just like, how much more can happen? Like, you're kind of, it makes you nervous. Like, there's so much happening in this first episode. How can this continue for 8 episodes? And it does. It does.
It's like, that's a hell of a call. All right.
Yeah, it's good. Topical talks about mental health. You get, about how COVID affect mental health. Yes, we do get mentions of COVID and pandemic, and I know that is, we're drained of that. We don't want that in storylines really, but it works. It works. It's not heavy. It's not heavy, but there's a certain aspect of the plot that it drives, it motivates, and it was good. Domestic violence, big domestic violence, trigger warnings and all that. This is heavy on the DV. You get a guy swimming in jean shorts.
Oh, can't wait.
Makes me squirm. Made me very
Gotta worry
squeamish.
about the boys in that situation. A little bit of chafing going on.
Never nude.
Yeah, I was like, oh, where do they do that at? Yeah, where does this take place? Oh, it's in
Florida.
Philly. It takes place in Philly. You know that because they call Rita's Ice, what is it? Water sugar. Sugar water.
What's
Something like
Rita's
that.
Ice?
You never heard of Rita's?
It's like
It's
shaved
like an
ice, man.
Italian, like an Italian shaved ice kind of place.
Okay, snow cones. Okay.
Yeah, they call it water ice though, or something like that, which is
The
a
hell
very.
is Rita's Ice?
You ever heard of Rita's? I have a Rita's here, and we had a Rita's here in the Bay Area and in Brentwood.
Josh,
yeah.
it's
Anyways,
just a Californian thing.
California.
The California things exist everywhere. That's all that just happened.
yeah. Well, it's a Philly thing. It's an East Coast thing. Anyways, guys swimming in G-shirt, action packed. Very, very. Every episode, you're never too far in between some kind of dramatic action, tension building, and it's good. It moves fast. Ruffalo's acting gets a little stagnant.
Okay.
It's great in places, but sometimes it requires him to energize, to get a little elevated in emotion, but he's just so even keel throughout this thing. He gets emotional, he cries, but he doesn't turn it up to action, it's time to go vibe. He's always just
All
like,
right, Dean!
yeah, he's always very just too calm,
Stoic.
stoic in scenes. I was like, okay. So I give Task a popcorn and 2. I'm recommending this. I've been recommending this to everybody. You need to watch Task.
Popcorn too.
Task is
So
good.
you are on a couple
All right.
HBO shows because you're on The Pit.
Yeah.
You're highly complimentary of The Pit, and you're
Pit was
highly
very
complimentary of Task. I'm actually really getting into Chair Company. I thought it's found its legs here recently.
Yeah, finally. I'm with you too.
Yeah. It took.
I like
the
his
first
private eye
episode,
partner.
Yeah, you got to make it through the first episode of Chair.
Yeah.
Chair Company.
I went to the theaters. I saw Chainsaw Man, the Res Arc. Let me tell you something. Anime's back. Anime's here for stay. Anime's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Mr. Wayans, I'm sorry. You're dumb for having that opinion. But this movie had a budget of $4.1 million, and it now has made over $114 million box office.
Whoa.
Exceptionally profitable. But you know what this really is saying is they're not paying animators enough. But anyway, this is a movie about a man with a chainsaw face.
Yeah.
The reason I started watching anime as a child is because I saw things in animation that America was not doing. While we got Thundercats and we got Power Rangers and things like this, over there in Japan they're doing Dragon Ball, where people's hands are getting cut off. People are getting stabbed. There's actual real consequences to things. There's continuing story arcs. It's not like every episode it resets and now we're going to go fight the bad guys again. There's storylines that are moving. And there's just concepts that aren't being touched on in standard Western animation. So they continue that here with, this is kind of a spoiler, but there's a man with a chainsaw face riding a shark with 4 legs, 100 stories in the sky, riding a demonic typhoon monster while fighting a sentient grenade woman. Now, I know all that doesn't make any sense, but just like I was saying with Dan last week, they set all this up to make it somehow make sense so they can show you this incredible action sequence, which is the entire second half of the movie. The first
Hell
half
yeah.
of the movie drags on. First half of the movie is just like, when is it going to be action time? It's really weird how it's totally separated like that. But once it starts, it's like, holy crap, like this is a whole different movie. Like, let's go. And it does go. There's blood everywhere. There's explosions everywhere. There's constant surprise. Like, and the soundtrack, like they get real heavy metal, they get real break beats, they do all kinds of weird, wacky shit. But anyway, I give this movie a popcorn and 1. It's a lot of fun. It's a good time. With that, I do have to go. So,
I love you though.
you guys be well. I love you too.
I did House of Dynamite, starring Rebecca Ferguson, Anthony Ramos, and Idris Elba, but also Jared Harris plays a big role. And you might be asking, who's Jared Harris? He's that old English guy that's either the villain or the very smart scientist in everything you've ever seen. And when you watch House of Dynamite, you will be like, oh yeah, I know exactly who that guy is. Okay, so this movie takes place over the course of a nuclear shot at the United States of America. Someone has fired a nuclear weapon at the USA, and what goes into the preparation behind our response, what goes into our preparation behind our defense, and how accurate and reliable our defenses actually are against a nuclear attack. It's intense throughout. Like, it is very action packed. It's told in 3 different acts, and it is not for those with a weak stomach. Like, it's intense, and it lets you know what could happen, what will happen, and what does happen in instances like this one. It's the worst. It's billed as the worst event since the Cold War, because the Cold War came about as a way to flex but never fire one of these weapons. There is no closure in this movie. So if you're hoping for closure, you will not get it from this film. It is actually incredibly terrifying. It is an incredibly terrifying film. It's scary. I'm gonna give it a popcorn and 1.5. It's worth the watch. You can't take your eyes off it because you're like, okay, what's next? Okay, what's next? And there, it kind of digs a little bit into the very human emotions that would go into a decision, to multiple decisions that come from a strike of this kind. And it's a little terrifying because of the state we're in. We don't know if we have the right humans in place to make these intelligent, conscious decisions. So it was a pretty terrifying film. Netflix took a big swing here. I don't think it's going to win anything, but it's definitely worth a watch. So we're going to give that one a popcorn and a half. We're also going to review really quickly Ballad of a Small Player, starring Colin Farrell. A gambler story taking place in Macau, China. It is gross. It is hard to watch. It's a lot of it is a sweaty Colin Farrell working his way through the streets, and you're trying to decide, is this guy dead? Is he alive? What's going on? But he's ultra wealthy, or is he ultra wealthy? Is he a good gambler? Is he a bad gambler? What is this guy? It is a very heavy-handed portrayal of gluttonous greed consuming one that may feel entitled to the life of another. A loser that keeps on losing despite how much money he may actually have. Does it all catch up to Colin Farrell? Do we get resolution? Is this a positive story? At the end of the day, you sink into yuck in this, and it does a fantastic job with sound, as it really applies some ASMR techniques to get the audience to react to certain things like eating and sweating and dabbing of sweat. Like, you hear every sound, every squelch, walking through mud, everything. Okay, and you start to wonder who's here, who's not here, who's alive, who's dead. It is a depressing movie. It is sad. It is a day ruiner. I'm not going to tell you whether or not the resolution is positive or negative, but I think Colin Farrell, while annoying at times, does a good job in this role. I think we get Tilda Swinton doing okay here. I'm going to give it a popcorn and 1.5 again for Ballad of a Small Player. It will give you stress, it'll give you anxiety, and it'll give you the ick.
I finally got to watch the new Naked Gun, starring Liam Neeson, aforementioned in the show. not The Witcher, right? Um, Liam Neeson, it's hard to buy in, man. At first, for like a while, of Liam Neeson being this character, especially taking the mantle from the beloved Leslie Nielsen. If you watch the Naked Gun movies, they're like 50% puns and all that, and then 50% like really off the wall physical comedy stuff, like borderline like a short skits taking place within a movie.
Yeah.
The puns and stuff land about 50%. Okay. And the physical comedy is much better than the puns and the dialogue and all of that kind of stuff. It's too simple, right? It's too simple. The puns and all that. It's not witty enough, like how Leslie Nielsen used to execute some of this stuff. When they try to touch on like modern topical pop culture stuff, it definitely just feels too. It feels lazy. It feels lazy. They just go
Maybe
for
I need to rewatch it.
they go for obvious low hanging fruit type of stuff that just you see coming from a mile away. But I did like the fight with Fergie playing with Fergalicious playing and come on, that's just hilarious. I did get a lot of really hard laughs watching this. It's a short movie. And like, really, that's all you can ask for out of this. Like, I don't know what you would expect going into this other than something like this. So I was fine with it. But again, it was not a good movie. So I mean, yeah, it's a popcorn, but it's like, yeah, sure, put it on, get a good laugh for a little bit.
I thought it was hilarious. I thought Pam Anderson did a very good job too in her role in that.
Yeah, she was great. It's good to see her.
I guess I liked it more than you. I don't know. It was the dry humor and it really got me. Maybe I was in a good place to watch that movie, but I thought it was really funny. I mean, oh my God, I can't believe they went there. I can't remember what it was with. If it was with a Diddy joke or something, but they go in on something. I can't remember it right now, but it made me laugh so hard.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I had fun watching it. I'll say that, but
Okay.
it was definitely cringy kind of dad jokes like that were just like, okay, I get it, sure.
Speaking of soon to be, you'll get those jokes soon enough. But
I will. Yep.
Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Okay.
Is what I was gonna do. Do you have something else?
Yeah, I forgot something else I watched.
Okay, so Avengers: Age of Ultron. This was essentially the ultimate setup movie. You don't realize it when you're there because you're there to see the Avengers: Age of Ultron. But in the rewatch, there's so many Easter eggs, so much foreshadowing leading to what comes next in the Marvel series. Another villain that has an opportunity to be so much more and come back, but killing off major characters to progress a storyline in Marvel hadn't been done until this film. It's a movie that needs to be viewed a second time through a really to really understand the impact it made on the Marvel Universe. One of the things, all they want to do is live in peace, and they're not going to get to do that today. But maybe if we win today, they can in the future. And at the end, Ultron has a quote, "They're all doomed." And Vision says, "I know, but things aren't beautiful because they last." Man, like some creepy commentary with where we're at currently in the United States. But very interesting. I'm going to give Avengers: Age of Ultron a popcorn and 2.
Great. Awesome. The last thing I watched really quick, I watched it last night, was the epilogue film of Breaking Bad. Because as I had mentioned, I watched the entire Breaking Bad. Yeah, the entire Breaking Bad series. So yeah, I watched El Camino, which came out a long time. It took a while, I remember, for this to come out. The fans demanding it to get some closure on the character that is Jesse Pinkman.
Yeah.
And was it necessary, like, in what you get out of this? Like, I think most of everything that happens, you can infer, but it's really Jesse making what you infer much more difficult than it has to be. Like, I think the audience kind of envisioned that Jesse just makes his escape and starts a new life somewhere, right? So, but just for the sake of making a movie out of this, they like throw a bunch of roadblocks, and he makes some more kind of stupid decisions, just to get him to where he's inevitably meant to. What happens with him. So it was cool. You get one final cameo of the boys together, Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul as their
Aaron Paul.
as Walter White and Jesse Pinkman. Like, that's what the people wanted. You get a bit of range with Jesse Plemons. Yes, you get Jesse Plemons, who's like one of the biggest antagonists of this entire series. And you get some range with his character that's really was like cool to add, and you could see definitely the emergence of him, like going from the TV series to this Jesse Plemons. You're like, oh, that's a big leap he's made there.
And then Yorgos steals him.
Yeah, exactly. Yorgos. El Camino was a popcorn and one.
Okay, so we got a popcorn and one for El Camino, watchable. Probably should watch if you watch the Breaking Bad series. Jordan, it's your pick for Drunk Classic this week.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going comfort film again. We're in November, but I'm gonna take a different direction. I'm gonna go funny. I'm gonna go comedy.
Okay.
It is gonna be Major Pain, starring Damon Wayans.
It's another one I got to take off my list.
Yeah,
Major
love
Pain. Okay. Good. I think that's a great pick. It's fantastic. It's a must watch. And then we've got a remake for our Butter on Top this week, starring the aforementioned charming, charismatic Glenn Powell. So let's see if he can pull off Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Running Man.
We'll see.
We'll
Not
see.
much, not very big shoes to fill there on that one, but
That's not fair. That's not fair. This is a classic action movie. Considered one of the best action movies of all time.
Sure, but come on.
Fair enough. Not a ton of range there, but hopefully you can find the range it takes to get you to your movie theater and join us for our Butter on Top this week, Running Man, starring Glenn Powell. You get the popcorn, and we got the beer.